So in this video, I'll be showing you how to do indoor flying. Now, guys, yet again, it's all about experimenting, because one of the first things you've got to do is go into settings and change a couple of things. And I've been watching a few videos. I've found some of them not so helpful, some a bit over the top. So this is my preferences. I mean, if you want to do them, please do. If you don't, you can mess about in the settings to get it how you would like it, depending on what you're doing. See, I mean, if you're doing a bit of state agent work, yeah, obviously you need to make it a little bit more refined. One of the most important things about when you're doing video indoors is about the light. This drone needs plenty of light. It's not so good if it's a bit dark, especially where I am in my studio. It's a little bit dark in here. It's not as bright as it is just out there. So first thing we've got to do is get everything on, turn on the drone, the controller and the goggles, and then I'll take you through the settings. Right, so I've turned everything on. I've turned on my controller, my motion controller, my goggles and the drone. They're all on at the moment. Okay, so what I found now, guys, is even though the motion controller's got like what I call a laser ray, I think it's best to use the control thing up here on your head. I think they call it a 5D thing, to get yourself around the settings, which I'll show you in a moment. So, settings. Right, goggles off, goggles on. Right, so we want to go over to the left-hand side. So there it is. We scroll down to settings, click on that. Safety, we'll just go into safety. Right, don't worry too much about all this in there because it's not really going to affect you indoors. But the reason why I like using this is because you can scroll right down, because when we need to go into your advanced settings and we just click on that, and especially the return to home, because what we don't want to do is for the drone to lose signal in your house and you got some expensive chandelier. So you just click on that. But what we want to do is put it into hover. So that's done there. Come back out of that again, down to control, because there's the other thing you want to do. Now I've found, to me personally, going into beginner's mode, I'll just take you down to it now. Now, obviously, if I click it, I've got it already on. So we don't need to, we just cancel that a moment. So put it in beginner's mode. If you don't like it, guys, there are other ways. But to me, it slows the drone right down to what I think is feasible for going around inside a property. So come out of that. Next one is the camera. Now, 16.9, that's your aspect ratio, which is what you're seeing now, really. Right, video quality, that's entirely up to you guys. I find 1080/60 is plenty enough for me, especially on YouTube. I know a lot of the YouTube gods say you've got to have it in 4K 30, but to me personally, do you really need it in that? I understand it. Obviously, if you've got it in 4K and you want to zoom in, you want to get rid of some stuff. But when you're inside a property, you want to get as much as you can. But anyway, next one. Right, camera, field of view. Now, I've got it on normal. Now, I did try it in ultra wide. I just found it just too much. Wide was all right, but it's still, it bends things. Whereas normal is as about normal as you can get it. And usually when you're going around in a property with a camera anyway, most people have it in normal. But some people say it's got to be in ultra wide. But for me, I'm having it in normal. Right. Okay. Oh, come out of that then. Right. Rock steady. Now you could have it on horizon, or you can have it off, but I would say rock steady is probably the best option. Everything else, you could have grid lines. I suppose that might be something to might have a good option. So yeah, I'm going to put on the one at the top there. I think you can have both on, but we've got the grid lines on. Central point. Let's put that on. We'll give it a go. And obviously the one at the bottom is probably another thing. I mean, my SD card, I got 25 gig. I don't think, I mean, I never go probably over 3 gig. But anyway, you can format it down there. But anyway, that's your settings, guys. Ready to fly. And so I'm upstairs, guys. Now, here in Spain, what we tend to do is bring all the shutters down to make the house dark, keeps the house cool. But because of this demonstration, I've opened up some of it. I haven't opened it up all, because I'll tell you what, it gets so hot here in Spain, especially this time of year, 1st of July. Anyway, so we get on with it. So we start up the motors. Right, as you can see, I've got the fans going, so I'm just gonna bring it up to me. Now, if you can see on the screen there, having that cross with the circle is a big help, because I can aim the drone that way. Now, another thing, guys, the more you do this, the more you're gonna get pretty savvy with it. But this is my sort of first attempt upstairs anyway. Okay, I'm going to turn it now. It's not a lot of room in here, I must say. Okay, I'm bringing it back the other way, past the birdies in the cage. They're not going to like this. Okay, I'm going to see if I can go through our door. Now, obviously having it on a low speed gives you an idea. Now, I'm going to try something out different here. If I can go backwards. Obviously, it gets darker in here. Okay. So, pulling back on the stick there now. The drone's going backwards. I would go in the kitchen, but the kitchen's in a bit of a mess at the moment. And you can see what I mean about loose material, like, you know, the calendar blowing around there. Okay. That should do. We'll just go around the lounge. The wife's going to kill me. Oh, you haven't dressed the room. Anyway, you get the gist. I mean, another thing you will notice, obviously, is the light coming through that window, sort of. Okay, just bring it around there. So it just proves what you can do, guys. Right, and if I just stop here a moment. Right, I can, if I look upwards, look at the ceiling, I can now bring the gimbal down to the floor, and I can go out if I wanted to. That's a bit jerky, admittedly. Now, this is another thing, you could put this into slow motion footage as well. So, I mean, I think it's all about experimenting what you find the best. Like I said, some other video people that have been doing this have got completely different settings, but to me, I'm quite happy with this. Right, I'm going to see if I can go back through the door now. And I've got my bird twerping now. Okay, we'll just see if I can get through there. I think I'll just hit the door bit then. Right, just obviously go along that wall a bit. I can turn it now. Coming out the back of my head. So, I mean, obviously another thing you can see there, it's blown out. Right, I'm I'm going to land it. Okay, what we'll do, I'll turn everything off and have a quick chat. Well, I thought that went pretty well. I think, like anything else, when you're trying out these new methods, of especially flying indoors, is trying out different things. Now, I think putting it in the beginner's mode is a good idea because you've got that really slow speed, just moving it around. I think an ND filter would have been another good option as well, especially as you saw from outside, it sort of blew out the brightness. So maybe an ND16. But I'm sure after 3 or 4 goes, I'll probably get a nice footage. Now, I will bring up another video later on in the year, hopefully in a different type of property, and you will get the gist what you can do with these drones. Anyway, as always, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be another video coming very soon.